Hey everyone, Mr. Payne for homework practice problems, Monday, September 9th. For P1, we wanted to go over the taco problem fairly quickly here. Hold on one second, let's get a little bit closer. Okay, so we talked about in P2 and P4, I think we finished this, but in P1, remember it was 4 tacos, $6, and they wanted to know how many tacos you could buy for $15. Well, remember, it's not as easy to go from 6 to 15 when you're talking about ratios. You want to think to yourself, what is the relationship between $6 and $15? In other words, what would you have to do to the 6 to get the 15? And remember with our previous problem for the fruit punch, we wanted to go from 9 to 6. Well, it was difficult to do that because unless you're using a fraction, unless you're multiplying by a fraction or dividing by a decimal, it's hard to do that. So we came up with another number that both 15 and 6 were related to. So think of a common factor that we could put onto this chart. So we're going to put the number 3 on there because you could make the 6 a 3 pretty easily, right? By cutting it in half. So $6 for 4 tacos would mean $3 you could buy 2 tacos. And now we can convert this $3 to 15 by multiplying by 5. So 3 times 5 is 15, 2 times 5 would be 10. So we have to do that in-between step to go from 6 to 15. Now, some of you are able to do it with the fractions, and you're able to do it in one step. If not, come up with that common factor, all right? So now let's look at the homework. First problem, Adrian decorated 16 cupcakes in 28 minutes. If he continues at this pace, how many minutes will it take him to decorate 56 cupcakes? So, for this one, we want to have cupcakes and we want to have minutes. And it says 16 cupcakes in 28 minutes. We want to figure out how many minutes it will take him to decorate 56 cupcakes. So look, I've got 16 and I've got 56. So you want to think, what could I multiply 16 by to get 56? Probably not going to be something you're able to do unless you're really comfortable with decimals and fractions. So come up with a common number that both 16 and 56 share. So when I'm looking at 16 and 56, I'm thinking, wow, these are multiples of 8. Multiples of 8. So what could I do to the 16 to get an 8? Cut it in half. So that means 8 cupcakes could be made in 14 minutes. So now, what could I do here? Well, I could go from 8 to 56, and this is where knowing those multiplication facts come in handy. What would you multiply 8 by to get 56? Multiply by 7, right? You'd have to do the same thing to the 14. Alrighty. So see what you get there. Set you up pretty good for that one. All right, next problem. A comic book store is having a sale. You can buy 20 comic books for $35. What is the cost of 8 comic books during the sale? So again, you want to set it up where you have the comic books and you have the money. And you know that 20 comic books cost $35. You want to find the price of 8 comic books. So what's a number, a factor that both 20 and 8 share that you could convert? So I'm thinking 4. So how could you make 20 into a 4? Think about division. What could you divide 20 by to make that a 4? I'll give you a hint. It's 5. All right, so use that number to help you with the money. All right? All right, I'm not going to give you as much help on these here. Complete the table that showed the amount of yellow and red paint needed for different size batches. Explain how you know that these amounts of yellow and red paint will make the same batch or shade of orange as the first row in the table. So basically all you have to do is come up with your own equivalent ratios here. You should be able to do that without much help. And number 4, the olive trees in an orchard produce 3,000 pounds of olives per year. It takes 20 pounds of olives to make 3 liters of oil. How many liters of olive oil can this orchard produce in a year? If you get stuck, consider using the table. So actually, please do use the table, all right? So 3,000 pounds of olives a year. It takes 20 pounds of olives to make 3 liters of oil. How many liters of oil? So you want to figure out, you've got 20, you've got 100, you've got 3,000. You have to think, and I'm not going to help you on this one. All right? You got to do this one on your own. think about the relationship maybe between the 20 and the 100 to help you with this number, and then from 100 to 3,000 to help you with this number. Okay. It doesn't hurt to cross off some zeros to help you. So for instance, 100 and 3,000, try to think of, maybe how many 100s fit into 300 at first. Use that to help you. All right? All right, that's long enough. I will see you tomorrow. Good luck.